Good evening, guys. So I've made it to my camp here at Catechol Lake. My plan for tomorrow is to hike on out of here. I got about 5.5 miles until I reach the Chuya River, and just on the other side of that is the main road, the Chuya tract. And from there, my plan is to either hitchhike to Kasha or the border town of Tashanta. Either way, my plan is to head into Mongolia the following day. Good morning, guys. It's September 1st and the weather is absolutely beautiful here at Catechol Lake. Not gonna lie, I like this camp spot even better than at Maashey. I mean, there's a lake, better view of the mountains, wide open spaces, just can't complain. So those locals pulled up on me in their big truck and of course started speaking Russian straight away. I was like, I don't speak Russian. One of the guys like, oh, you speak Altai, making a joke, and I was like, no way, man, I wish. But I don't think ever in my lifetime will I learn the Altai language. Anyway, one of the guys gave this horn symbol asking if I saw any wildlife, and just walking up to the lake yesterday, I had a feeling like this would be the place I'd see an ibex or ibex, whatever it's called. We don't have them in the U.S., so I've never seen one, and but unfortunately I haven't seen any wildlife, just horses. Anyway, it looks like I'm going to be walking the dirt road that the truck came up down to the Chuya River to finish my trek. It's about 5.5 miles. I'm getting a late start once again, packing up camp, so I'm going to eat some breakfast and hit the trail. What's up, guys? I'm having a little trouble finishing the trek. Let me start from the beginning. So I followed the road down to the Chuya River, just like my GPS said, except when I got to the river, I looked at my GPS and it wasn't where I was supposed to be. Instead of going back up the road to try to find a path I never saw, I just decided to trudge it through the marsh, knee deep, until I reached the river. Once I reached the river, I got to a part where it was fairly narrow for the Chuya River, and I got in and it was more than waist deep, so I kept walking and thinking of ways to get across the river. Finally, as you saw, I got tired of walking aimlessly along the river, so I blew up my sleeping pad, put my bag on, and went to swim across the river. But of course, once I got my sleeping pad in the water with my bag on top, it started sinking and my stuff started getting wet, so I knew it wasn't going to work. Also, the water is really cold, so yeah. Luckily there is a place to cross, or at least my GPS says there is, where the river mellows out. It looks like into a creek. It's about 3 miles downriver, so I'm going to head that way, see what time it is, and from there decide if I want to set up camp or hitchhike a little bit. Honestly, I don't even care where I end up. I just kind of want a hot meal. So whether I'm in the village of Kurai or Kashagach, it doesn't really matter. Kind of just want some hot, home-cooked food. Then I'll set up camp outside of town or do whatever. Good morning, guys. So as you saw last night, I made it out of that messy brush and into the meadow. Mosquitoes everywhere. It took me all evening to hike 3 miles. I was bushwhacking along the river. The trail was pretty treacherous, but I got through it and I made it to the road that my GPS led me to. My GPS had the road going right through the river. So I assumed if a car could cross it, then I could cross it, whether it was a bridge or whether it was shallow there. I thought I'd be able to cross it. So I follow the road and it leads to the river, and what do you know? Super wide part of the river, no possible way to cross it, just as deep as any other part. It was no different from any other part of the river. I still couldn't cross it. So pretty much my only option now is to walk to the village of Kiziltash. It's just south of Kurai. There is a road with a bridge that I could see on Google Maps that crosses the Chuya River, so I'm hoping to make it there today. I'm not going to follow the exact route on my GPS because I think I can make a little shortcut through the steppe. It shouldn't be too many trees or too much bushwhacking today, but it's going to be a long day. Probably looking at around 18 to 20 miles, so let's see how it goes. Let's have some fun. Спасибо.
Откуда и куда?
Че, русский, Иван, садись, давай быстрее.
Русский is
Ты speak English.
English.
Очень English.
Sit down, please.
$100, евро.
Thank you very much.
Let's go.
Zapalisz te... Ay? Çok güzel ben sana. Hemen Chuya'da balık var. Chuya'da balık var.
Oraya dayı sabah gideceğiz.
Good evening, guys. So I feel like today should have been the day that I would dread the most, but it actually turned out to be one of the best days of the hike. So as you saw, the landscape was pretty much wide open all day. I was mainly hiking through the steppe today. I had one river crossing. I had great views of the mountains all day. Came across some really majestic horses. And as you saw, towards the end of my hike, I think I was about 3 or 4 miles out from the bridge that crossed the Chuya River, which is a river I've been trying to cross for the past day and a half. I hitched a ride with some locals from Kiziltash. It was the first car I saw out there. They stopped for me, picked me up. And once they dropped me in Kiziltash, I was able to go to a shop, buy a bunch of candy, Skittles, Twix bars, Snickers, chips, M&Ms, Skittles, you name it. And then from the shop, it was about a half an hour walk to the village of Kurai. Also pronounced Kurai, Kuray. I have trouble saying it. And I'm at this beautiful homestay. The rooms are very nice. They're just a little expensive. So I'm actually posting up in my tent tonight. But I got full amenities, able to charge my electronics, take a shower, I have a toilet. Everything is great. Tomorrow the plan is to get back on the Choiski Tract, which is the main road. It's about a 10-minute walk from here. And I'm pretty much just going to hitchhike as far as I can, hopefully get to Tashanta, and get a taxi into Mongolia. I hope you guys enjoyed my trek to Lednik Maashey and beyond here in the Altai Mountains of Western Siberia. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on my next adventure.